Still watching NBS Live at 9, you should know that Uganda today joined the rest of the world to commemorate the World Bee Day with the theme Be Engaged. The celebrations come at a time when activities like deforestation and the extensive use of agrochemicals are not only threatening the life of bees, but also the country's food production. And it's this time that we need to hear from Mr. Dickson Maisho, the Executive Director of the Uganda National Apiculture Development Organization, also known as TUNADO, for more on this matter. And as you join us, we do appreciate you that you're going to share at least information when it comes to the apiculture sector. Now, let's start off by you telling us some of the investment opportunities in beekeeping.
Thank you very much. We have different investment opportunities in beekeeping. When we talk about beekeeping, quite often people think about honey, and yet honey is actually the biggest product, as you can see. But then we have other bee products, for example, like propolis, which is small and it is more expensive. This is about 5,000, this is 6,000, and it is just very small. But we have also bee venom, for instance. People talk about honey, but a gram of bee venom is 60,000. And we have opportunities also like honey wine, for instance, and these are all there. But also we have, as Uganda go into monoculture, planting coffee, planting macadamia cashew nuts, then we see that we shall ultimately need bees to pollinate these, and elsewhere in the world, actually people use bees to pollinate these monoculture crops.
Talk to us about the production levels of bee-related products in this country being so low. Is this related to some of the challenges that beekeepers are going through?
Yeah, of course, it is related to that because, for instance, if you also look at the government investment in the beekeeping sector, it is extremely low. There is low budget allocation. We do not have the national apiculture policy that can guide the investment in the sector. There is a lot of deforestation happening around, and of course, habitat destruction and spraying, but also technical expertise in the beekeeping is lacking. Access to credit is lacking within the beekeeping sector. And we think these are pertinent issues. Look at taxation. Taxation is very high for the equipment that we need for value addition, which we cannot produce around the technology-related issues. And the beekeepers are scattered, and there is limited extension services for the beekeepers. Even the statistics are lacking. For example, we know that there is going to be livestock census, but we are waiting to see whether they will be able to analog and tell us the production potentials or the production of honey, beeswax, propolis, bee venom, not just honey, because honey is the cheapest product on the market. So we'd want to see like elevating these beeswax, elevating propolis, elevating pollen, and other things that are produced by the bees.
Are those some of the answers that also speak to some of the proposals as a sector that you have for probably government to come and support this sector and ahead, actually, as we even also talk about the animal census that is coming up?
Yeah, of course, but we have a specific thing that we would want to see. For example, we would want like the government to put solid investment in member-based organizations like TUNADO and others, and have, for instance, access to credit, because the credit that is available on the market is not attractive. And even when you look at the one that has been put, for example, in Uganda Development Bank, it's not easily accessible by the beekeepers because the conditionalities are really very high. So you find that the normal beekeeper in Karamoja, for example, in Kitugum, cannot be in position to apply. The technicalities are really so much. But also the extension services. I mean, usually in the district, there is only one district entomologist officer, and who is handling also vermin and other vectors. So you find that the extension service is largely lacking. You find that, of course, the skills are largely lacking for the youths, and yet beekeeping has very huge potential to employ all the youths that are not employed. because you do not need to go to the university to be able to keep bees. For instance, you don't need a lot of money. You do not need land to practice beekeeping. And beekeeping is a white-collar job for the youths. It's not like digging or touching dirty soils and what have you. We are always well dressed in our bee suits and, in our overalls, and it's all exciting.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dickson Biryomu Maisho. This is an area that you could probably invest in as the world